compromise and escape. If the SEALs were unsure whether the mission had been compromised before they fired, they had no doubt afterwards. The plan required the SEAL to abort immediately if they encountered anyone. North Korean security force could be coming. There was no time to plant the device. The SHOT team swarmed to the boat to make sure that all the national North Koreans were dead. They found no guns or uniforms. Evidence suggested that the crew, with people bravely on the mission, said number 2 or 3 people had been civilized diving for shellfish. All were dead, including the man in the water. Officers familiar with the mission said the SEAL pulled the bodies into the water to hide them from the North Korean authorities. One added that the SEAL punctured the boat crew lungs with knife to make sure their body would sink. The SEALs swam back to the mini-subs and sent a distress signal, believing the SEALs were in imminent danger of capture. The big nuclear submarine maneuvered into shallow water close to the shore, taking a significant risk to pick them up. It then sped towards the open ocean. All the U.S. military personnel escaped unharmed. Immediately afterwards, U.S. spy satellites detected a surge of North Korean military activity in the area. U.S. officials said North Korea did not make any public statements about the deaths, and U.S. officials said it was unclear whether the North Korean ever pieced together what had happened and who was responsible. The nuclear summit in Vietnam went ahead as planned at the end of February 2019, but the talks quickly ended with no deal. By the way, North Korea has resumed missile tests. Mr. Trump and Mr. Kim met once more last June in the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. It made for dramatic television, with Mr. Trump ever stepping across the North Korean, but a brief meeting yet little more than a handshake. In the months that followed, North Korea fired more missiles than in any previous year, including some capable of reaching the United States. Since then, the United States estimates North Korea has amassed 50 nuclear warheads and material to produce about 40 more. Uneven trade records. The aborted SEAL mission prompted a series of military reviews during Mr. Trump's first term. They found that killing of civilians was justified under the rules of engagement, and the mission was undone by the collection of unfortunate occurrences that could not have been foreseen and avoided. The findings were classified. The Trump administration named top leaders of key committees in Congress that oversee military and intelligence activities about the operation of the findings. Government officials said in doing so, the Trump administration may have violated federal law, said Matthew Westman, a law professor at Columbia University who served in national security prison under the former President George W. Bush. Mr. Westman said the law has gray areas that give presidents some leeway on what they tell Congress, but on more consequent measures, the burden lands more towards notification. The point is to ensure that Congress isn't kept dark when major stuff is going on. Mr. Westman said this is exactly the kind of thing that would normally be briefly to the committees, and sometimes the committees would expect to be told about. Many of the people involved in the submarines were later prompted. but the episode worried some experienced military officers with knowledge of the mission because the SEAL have an uneven track record that for decades has largely been concealed by secret. Elite Special Operation units are regularly assigned some of the most difficult and dangerous tasks. Over the years, the SEALs have had a number of major success, including hits on terrorist leaders, high-profile rituals of hostages, and the taken down of Bin Laden that have built an almost superhuman public image. But about some in the military who had worked with them, the SEALs have a reputation for devising overly bold and complex missions that go badly. Team 6 debate mission, which was part of U.S. invasion of Granger in 1983, is a case in point. The plane was parachuted into the sea, reached to the coast in speedboat, and plant beacons to guide as chauffeurs to the island's airport, but the SEAL plane took off late. They jumped at night and landing in stormy conditions, weighed down by heavy gear for SEAL strong, and the rest swamped their speedboats. The airfield was later seized by Army Rangers who parachuted directed onto the airfield. Since then, SEALs have mounted other complex and daring missions that unveiled in Panama, Afghanistan, Yemen, and Somalia. During a rescue mission in Afghanistan in 2010, Team 6 SEALs accidentally killed the hostage they were trying to rescue with a grenade, and then Michelle surprised about how he did die. In part because of the track record, President Barack Obama curtailed special operations missions late in his second term and increased overseas, reserving complex commando rates for extraordinary situations like hostage rescues. The first Trump administration rebirthed many of those registrations and cut the amount of high-level deliberation for sensitive missions. A few days after taking off in 2017, Mr. Trump skipped over much of the established deliberate process to greenlight in a team raid on a villager in Yemen. The mission left 30 villagers and a SEALs dead and destroyed a 75 military aircraft. When President Jose J.R. Biden jade success Mr. Trump, the gravity of the North Korean mission attracted renewed scrutiny. Mr. Biden's Defense Secretary Lawyer J. Austin Schultz ordered an independent investigation conducted by the Lieutenant General in charge of the Army Inspector General's office. In 2021, the Biden administration briefed key members of Congress on the findings. A former government officer said those findings remain classified. Oh, a big news, and thanks for listening. It is so long. Have a good night, have a good day. See you, bye-bye. Good morning. Today is the 9th September 2025. This is American news from the New York Times, and this is the first recording. So how a top secret SEAL team sees mission into North Korea fell apart. A group of Navy SEALs emerged from the ink black ocean in a winter night in earlier 2019 and crashed to a rocky shore in North Korea. They were on a top secret mission so compressed and consequential that everything had to go exactly right. The objective was to plant an electrical device that would let the United States intercept the communications of North Korea's reclusive leader Kim Jong-un and high-level nuclear talks with President Trump. The mission had the potential to provide the United States with a stream of valuable intelligence, but it meant putting American commandos on North Korean soil, a move that, if detected, not only could sink negotiations, but also could lead to a hostility crisis or an escalating conflict with a nuclear armed foe. It was so risky that it required the president's direct approval. For the operation, the military chose SEAL Team 6 Red Squadron, the same unit that killed Osama bin Laden. The SEALs rehearsed for months, aware that every move needed to be perfect, but when they reached what they saw, it was deserted shore that night, wearing black wet shoes and night vision goggles. The mission swiftly unrevealed. A North Korean boat appeared out of the dark, flashed light from the boat sway over the water. Fearing that they had been spotted, the SEALs opened fire. Within seconds, everyone on the North Korean boat was dead. The SEALs retreated into the sea without planting the listening device. The 2019 operation has never been publicly acknowledged or even hinted at by the United States or North Korea. The details remain classified that are being reported here for the first time. The Trump administration did not notify key members of Congress who oversee intelligence operations before or after the mission. The lack of notification may have violated the law. The White House denied to comment. This account is based on interviews with 24 people, including civilian government office members of the first Trump administration and current and former military personnel with knowledge of the mission. All of them spoke on a condition of anonymity because of the mission's classified status. Several of those people said they were discussing details about the mission because they would concerned that special organization failures are often hidden by government secrecy. If the public and policymakers become aware only of high-profile success, such as the race that killed bin Laden in Pakistan, they may underestimate the extreme risks that America first undertake. The military operation on North Korea soil close to American military base in South Korea and the Pacific region also risks setting off a broader conflict with the hostile, nuclear armed, and highly military adversary. The New York Times proceeded cautiously with reporting. When reporting on classified military operations, the Times would withhold some sensitive information on the North Korean mission that could affect future special operations and intelligence gathering missions. It is unclear how much North Korea was able to discover about the mission, but the SEAL operation is one chapter in a decades-long effort by the U.S. administration to engage North Korea and constrain its nuclear weapons programs. Almost nothing to the United States has tied nearly promise or closer relations, nor the pressure of session has worked. In 2019, Mr. Trump was making a personalized overture to Mr. Kim in search of breakthrough that holds elusive presidents, but those talks collapsed and North Korean nuclear program accelerated. The U.S. government estimates that North Korea now has roughly 50 nuclear weapons and missiles that can reach the West Coast. Mr. Kim has pleaded to keep expanding his nuclear program exponentially to deter what he calls U.S. provocations. Bright spot. The SEAL mission was intended to fix a strategic bright spot. For years, U.S. intelligence agents had found it nearly impossible to recruit human sources and tap communications in North Korea's insular authoritarian state. Getting insight into Mr. Kim's thinking became a high priority when Mr. Trump first took office. The North Korean leaders seemed increasingly unpredictable and dangerous, and his relationship with Mr. Trump has thus erratically between letters of friendship and public threats of nuclear war. In 2018, relations seem to be moving toward peace. North Korea suspended nuclear and missile tests, and the two countries opened negotiations, but the United States still have little insight into Mr. Kim's intentions. Amid the uncertainty, U.S. intelligence agents revealed to the White House that they have a fix for the intelligence program, a newly developed electronic device that could intercept Mr. Kim's communications. The catch was that someone had to sneak in and plant in. The job was given to SEAL Team 6 in 2008 military office that and 18. Even for Team 6, the mission would be extraordinarily difficult. SEALs who were more used to quick raids in places like Afghanistan and Iraq would have to survive for hours and in frigid seas. State security force on land perform a precise technical installations and then get out undetected. Getting out undetected was vital. In Mr. Trump's first term, top leaders in the Pentagon believed that even a small military action against North Korea could provoke catastrophic relations from an adversary with roughly 8,000 artillery pieces and rocket launch aimed at the approximately 28,000 American troops in South Korea and nuclear-capable missiles that could reach the United States. But the SEALs believed they could pull off the mission because they have done something like it before. In 2005, SEALs used a mini-sub to go offshore in North Korea and leave unnoticed, according to people familiar with the mission. The 2005 operation carried out during the presidency of George W. Bush has never before been reported publicly. The SEALs were proposing to do it again in the fall of 2018, while high-level talks with North Korea was underway. Joint Special Operations Command, which oversees Team 6, received approval from Mr. Trump to start preparing. Military officials said it is unclear whether Mr. Trump's intent was to gain an immediate advantage during negotiation or if the focus was broader. Joint Special Operations Command tried to comment the plan called for Navy to sneak a nuclear-powered submarine nearly 2 football field long into the water of North Korea and then deploy a small team of SEALs in 2 mini-subs, each about the size of killer wire, that would motor silent to the shore. The mini-sub or wet sub, which meant the SEALs would ride immersed in 40-degree ocean water for about 2 hours to reach the shore, using scuba gear and heated shoes to survive. Near the bridge, the mini-subs would release a group of about 8 SEALs who would swim to the target, install the device, and then slip back to the sea. But the team faced a serious limitation. It would be going to almost bright. Typically, Special Operations Force have drone overhead during a mission. Extremely high definition video of the target with SEALs on the ground and senior leader in far-off command center can use to direct the strike in real time. Often they can even listen in on enemy communications. But in North Korea, any drone would be spotted. The mission would have to rely on installation in orbit and high altitude spy planes in international airspace miles away that could provide only relatively low definition still images. Officials said those images would arrive not in real time, but after a delay of several minutes at best. Even then, they could not be relayed to the mini-subs because a single encrypted transmission might give the mission away. Everything had to be done under a near blackout of communications. If anything awaited the SEALs on shore, they might not know until it was too late. The operation unravels. SEAL Team 6 practiced for months in U.S. water and continued preparations into the first week of 2019. That February, Mr. Trump announced that he would meet Mr. Kim for a nuclear summit in Vietnam at the end of the month. For the mission, SEAL Team 6 partnered with the Navy Premier Underwater Team, SEAL Delivery Vehicle Team 1, which had been doing mini-sub inspections for years. The SEALs boarded the nuclear-powered submarine and headed for North Korea when the submarine was in the open ocean and about to enter a communications blackout. Mr. Trump gave a final go-ahead. It is unclear what factors Mr. Trump wished when approving the SEALs mission. Two of his top national security officials at the time. His national security advisor, John Bolton, and the acting defense secretary, Patrick M. Strahan, declined to comment for this article. The submarine neared the North Korean coast and launched 2 mini-subs with motor to a spot about 100 yards from shore in clear, shallow water. Mission plan has tried to compensate for having no dive overseas video by spending months watching how many people came and went into the area. They study fishing patterns and choose a time when boat traffic would be scanned. The intelligence suggested that if SEALs arrived silently in the right locations in the dead of night in winter, they would be unlikely to encounter anyone. The night was still and the sea was calm as the mini-sub glided towards the target. Their sensors suggested that the intelligence was correct. The shore appeared to be empty. The mini-sub reached the spot where they were supposed to park on the seafloor. There, the team made what they had been the first of 3 small mistakes that seemed inconsequential at the time, but many have doomed the mission. In the darkness, the first mini-sub settled on the sea floor as planned, but the second overshot the mark and had to do a U-turn, officials said. The plan called for the mini-sub to park facing the same way, but after the second sub doubled back, they were pointed in opposite directions. Time was limited, so the group decided to release the shore team and correct the parking issue later. Sliding doors on the subs opened and the steels, all gripping untraceable weapon, loaded with untraceable ammunition, swam silently underwater to shore with the listening device. Every few years, the SEALs peeked above the black water to scan their surroundings. Everything seemed clear. That might have been a second mistake. Bowing into the darkness with a small boat on board was a crew of North Koreans who were easy to miss because the sensor in the SEAL's night vision goggles was designed in part to detect heat. And the white soup the Koreans wore climbed by the cold sweater. The SEALs reached shore thinking they were alone and started to remove their diving gear. The target was only a few hundred yards away. Back at the mini-subs, the pilots reported the sub was facing the wrong way, with the sliding cockpit doors open for visibilities and communications. The pilot removed the electric motor and brought the sub around. That was probably a short mistake. Some SEALs speculated afterwards in briefing that the winter week might have caught the attention of the North Korean boat, and if the boat crew had a press and turned to look, they might have seen light from the sub's open cockpits glowing in the dark water. The boat started moving towards the mini-subs. The North Koreans were shining flashlights and talking as if they had noticed something. Some of the mini-sub pilot told officers in the debriefing afterwards that from their vantage point, looking up through the clear water, the boat still seemed to be a safe distance away, and they have adopted that the mini subs have been spotted, but the seals and the shore saw it different. In the dark future that see the boat to them seemed to be practically on the top of the mini subs. Which communications broke out, there was no way for the shore team to confer with the mini subs. Lights from the boat swept over the water. The seals didn't know if they were seeing a security patrol on the hunt for them or a simple fishing crew oblivious to the high-stakes mission unfold around them. A man from the North Korean boat splashed into the sea. If the SWAT team got into trouble, the nuclear power sub had a grove of SEALs reinforcements standing by with inflatable speedboats, full offshore stealth rotary aircraft were present on the U.S. Navy ships with even more special operation troops ready to sweep in if needed. The SEALs faced a critical decision, but there was no way to discuss the next move. The mission commander was miles away on the big submarines, with no drones and air communications blackout. Many of the technical advantages that the SEALs normally rely on had been stripped away, leaving a handful of men in the wet neoprene, unsure of what to do. As the shore team watched the North Korean in the water, the senior express seer at the shore chose a course of action. He orderly centered his relief and fire. The other SEALs instinctively did the same.